everybody. We are here with Giles, who is the founder and CEO of Brandwatch, who's participating today in the Monitoring Social Media Conference going down here in San Francisco, California. So we're getting the chance to catch up with him today. I want to ask you a few questions, Giles, if you may. The first question is, why is social media monitoring so important for businesses today?
I think the simple answer to that question is that the market exists on the internet, and the players, the customers in the market are informing each other about what choices they might want to make, what products they might want to buy, services that they might want to use. And if as an organization you're not listening to that conversation and engaging with it, then I think you're missing a trick.
Absolutely. So I know a lot of businesses, there's just so much information when it comes to social media these days. And so when monitoring, what should companies be actually looking for? What should they be looking for? Should
okay, so let me give you some examples of how you can filter the stuff down into relevant information. And it really starts with what your role is within an organization. So for example, we're standing outside a car garage. If you're working for a car manufacturer and you're trying to sell cars, what you're not interested in, and this is probably a good place to start, is you're not interested in people advertising their second-hand cars on the web, and there's a lot of that. There's a lot of those adverts, so you want to try and get rid of all of those. You're not interested in car racing. Maybe your model of car, there's some racing circuit that goes on and people race them. You're not interested in that. You're probably not interested in drivers or owners clubs, and so on and so forth. What you're interested in is people who are looking to buy a car, they're looking for test drives, and potentially people that are servicing their car after they've bought it. So getting rid of all of the stuff that is irrelevant is part of the trick.
Okay, so with that, here's another caveat. So there's a lot of tools today that actually are used for monitoring social media. So all tools are not created equally.
No.
So let's say I am the same car garage.
Yeah.
You know, how would I know which tool to use?
I think it depends on what's important to you. So, for example, if you're really interested in getting close to real time, there are some tools which are more real time than others. They do a better job at collecting the information off the web more quickly. If you're interested in deep dive analysis, there are some tools which give you more of those kind of facilities. If you want simple headline stuff, then there are tools that are good at that. So I think defining as much as you can kind of what interests you, what your needs are, is the way to go.
Awesome. Now, Brandwatch, did a little research, found out a little bit about Brandwatch. Could you talk to the viewers and tell them how Brandwatch came to be, what it is, how it started, and what it is, what's the great things that it's doing now?
Okay, it's a story of serendipity, really. I used to work in a big corporation, and in year 2000 I left that corporation and tried my hand at a startup, which was a spectacular failure in some ways. It was meant to be on the back of a deal that we had going with Sky TV in the UK, which never came off. So, but that got me out of corporate life, and then I started this tech company, which with a couple of friends, and we were effectively tech guns for hire. We were building websites for people. We were doing anything. We were failing all over. We were making mistakes all over the place. But we gradually built a pretty strong team, and we didn't really know what we were doing or why we were doing it, which was an interesting mistake. So for 4 years, we did projects. We learned how to build software. We learned lessons. We made lots of mistakes. In 2005. We won a project to build a search engine for UK government, and I put the best team on it because I thought this could lead to something important. And we built this piece of software, which we licensed back to the government, which was great. And I was sitting in our office with a friend of mine who used to run a search engine management company, search engine optimization company in Brighton in the UK. And he said, well, look, you guys just built a search engine, we do search engine optimization, there's got to be something that we can help each other with here. And I said, well, we can do some content analysis, because we're grabbing all of this content, and we started to do a bit of content analysis. He goes, well, if you could tell us what was what was positive and negative. That would be useful because that would help us figure out our content strategies for our clients. And this conversation got going, and we had a few glasses of wine and so on. And the kind of the idea of Brandwatch came to the fore, really, and even the name. And those were in the days when MySpace was big, Facebook was just arriving on the scene, 30,000 new blogs every day. Social media was this kind of new thing. So we spent the last 5 years building out this crawling network to cover 20 million sites every day, and building the analysis and building the client base and so on, and raising a bit of money and actually making some pretty good decisions for the first time in 10 years. So it's been a journey. It's been an interesting journey, and it continues.
Now that's awesome. I love hearing about how companies take place and serendipity. It's interesting how much you hear that it was a series of serendipitous events.
Yeah.
Like I was doing one thing and then I had an aha moment, and then another thing came to pass.
Yeah, it probably was. I'm probably taking more of the credit for it. It was as much Arjo's idea as mine, I would say. But it was definitely a moment. But we're not very good at kind of. Well, I'm not very good, and I think we as people aren't very good at kind of crediting luck for a lot of the reasons why we get to. Oh yes, we made some great decisions, and here we are. I don't think it's quite that straightforward.
Now, for monitoring social media, what are you hoping to get from today's session?
Okay, today's session, well, we're a UK company. We're growing fast. We're just taking on some new capital right now, so we're looking to expand, and obviously the US being the world's biggest market is a place to come. So I've signed up to sponsor 3 of these events, one in Boston, one in New York, one in San Francisco, and this is event 2 of 3, and it's very much a fact-finding mission. Find out, meet some people, make some contacts, figure out when we come to the US where we need to be based. And take it one stage at a time. But this is kind of early market exploration.
Okay.
This is Giles Palmer, and you're watching Digital Vice Grip.